Alright guys, sorry if the audio doesn't end up being very good on this one. I've never done screen recording. I'll try to tweak it later in post. Anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to record MIDI in your software DAW today. Yeah! Alright, so what you're going to want to do is have something to play to. In this case I have a little backing track. Yay. And then we're going to go to track, create, click track, so that we have something to play with. I've already done it. I don't know why I just did it again. Oops, I'm an idiot. So we already have a click track, which conforms to my session tempo. So the next thing we need is to put some MIDI instruments in. So we're going to go to track, new, create a stereo instrument track, create, and then there it is. So now with my synthesizer, I'm going to be putting MIDI data into the computer, and it's going to know what note I'm playing and for how long and how hard, etc. But it won't know how to make it sound, and that's really up to you, which is one of the wonderful curses of being a techno producer. Synthesis is a nightmare. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a software synthesizer plugin on our channel here, instrument, and then we're going to use Toxic Biohazard today, a VST most commonly used in FL Studio. And for those of you that know Pro Tools, you know that it only supports RTAS and not VST. So as for how I'm running Toxic Biohazard in a Pro Tools environment, well, I'm not going to get into that right now. So desktop, I already have a preset made, and I'm going to go find it here for you, so I can load it up and show you what I can make with some sounds. Alrighty, here we are. Happy Rave Time 1. So this is just a little synthesizer I made, and when the cutoff is set to down, it makes a plucky rave sound. And when I put it all the way up, it makes a ravey rave sound. Yeah, party hard. So we're going to be automating this later with MIDI controlling, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, let's just go ahead and take a couple passes at this. Let's see here. We're actually going to turn the click track off because it's going to annoy the piss out of me. Alright, so trim this up to a good starting point where I can start playing where the synths are going. So I'm going to put a marker here. So in Pro Tools you go to marker. I'm going to put synth, because that's where my synthesizer starts. Okay. And before we do this, we're going to take our playback engine, setup, playback engine. Good. We're at 128 samples. Nice low latency. Now after that, we're going to go to something we didn't do in class here. We're going to go to event, MIDI real-time properties. We talked about quantizing a little bit. After you record, you can quantize to sort of move things closer to the grid for timing. This is techno, so there is no room for error. We're going to put quantize on the actual track itself. I'm going to put 8th note songs. I think that's as fast as I play on this little portion here. And then we're going to put a velocity curve on everything to make everything hit at minimum 127 velocity. As you know, we're dealing with 128-bit word lengths. So now, no matter how soft I hit my keyboard, or in this case guitar plugged into a MIDI converter, it's only going to play at highest velocity. And we're just going to track it that way. That way there's no expression, etc. So, let's go ahead and take a pass at this. And that's pretty much it, because techno is pretty simplistic in terms of you have a little melody and you play it a lot of times. So let's find out where we fall here. I'm just going to solo out my synthesizer. I guess I know where I want to start now. Excellent. And if you hear any little clicks or pops, ignore them. That's my buffer rate being tiny. We're going to go back in here and re-quantize just to make sure that they're exactly where they should be. Yeah, that did some good stuff right there. Okay. So, now I should be able to trim here. Nope. Quantize, 8th note. There we go. So Alright, so that wasn't a very good playthrough, but for time's sake, we're not going to go ahead and retrack it here. And then I know where my synths start at this little bar here, so I'm going to copy this by clicking it, holding Alt, and then clicking it again and dragging it over, and it makes a copy of it right here. And we're going to put it right there on the bar, and then it repeats itself, and it repeats itself, and just because it's techno, it repeats itself, and you get the idea. And I'm not going to worry how badly this sucks right now, so it's just to show you what to do. Alright, so now we have this pretty much good to go on our track. Whoop-de-doo. But at the beginning of the song, or this little section, it's plucky, so we put the cutoff down, because we want it to be like that. And later on in the song, we want it to be like full blown. You know. So here's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to go into, in Pro Tools you would do this. It's a lot easier in other DAWs. You go to this little button here underneath this thing that says Auto. And you're going to find, in this case it's called, I know it's just called Filter Cutoff. Don't ask me how I know, but I just do. So we're going to add that into the automation list, click the OK button, and then we're pretty much done here. You're going to right click this little drop down box here and find Instrument 1 Effects, yada yada yada. There we are, Filter Cutoff. Click it, and this little thing opens up here. And it's all the way down. And when it's all the way down, it sounds like this. And when it's all the way up, it sounds like Rave stuff. So what we're actually going to do is draw a curve that goes up, and we're going to say by this point in the song, it's going to be at full blown. So we're going to draw that, go back here, hold the control button to add another point for automation, and then it'll be at its highest point when it hits this run of the hook. So now it should slowly creep up on you. Cool. Aside from the fact that it's off beat, which I would normally flesh out later on, you get the idea. It has this little cutoff. Boom. And like watch the cutoff thing right here. This little thing. Watch what it does when you hit the big runoff. See, it does that. So there you go. That's how you do a little bit of automation. That's how you copy paste. That's how you set your buffer speed. That's how you import, or rather create MIDI data inside of a session. That's how you interpret it with the synthesizer. We'll get into the intricacies of synthesis probably later on. And that's how you automate it using MIDI controllers. Yeah.